Hi guys! With the Christmas holiday coming up, I thought I could show you how to make my signature bow. All you need to make this bow is ribbon. I use the holiday time ribbon, scissors, your gift, of course, and I think that's about it. So the first thing I like to do is get the ribbon across the box first. So just grab your ribbon. And I like to put the ribbon underneath the box first. So once the ribbon is underneath the box, I like to measure the middle points of the ribbon and also to see how long the ends of the ribbon is going to be according to the length of the box. So I like to leave out maybe, I'll say 5-6 inches long. And then we'll meet the ribbon in the middle and the insides of the ribbon are going to twist. And you're going to wrap the other end of the ribbon, not the short end, but the long end, around the box. And make sure it doesn't fold or it turns, or make sure it's flat. The ribbon is laid flat across. Make sure all the sides are straight. Once you get there, same thing with the inside of the ribbon, you twist it with the short end. I usually twist the box 2 times so that the short ribbon is facing down towards me and the long ribbon is facing up. So then I would measure the ribbon with the long ribbon, make sure that they're the same length or around the same length. It really doesn't matter because you can always fix it up later. I usually cut my ribbons with a little point. I don't usually cut it across, so they kind of look like that. I'm not sure if you can see it. And once you do that, the top ribbon that you have, or according to the video, it's the bottom ribbon, you insert it underneath, you cross over and you insert it underneath the ribbon, and you're going to pull through the hole, or the loop. And you're going to pull through, and you're going to pull the opposite direction. So you're going to pull down or up, depending on how you're tying it. I usually like to do it on the top, so I can just pull down, or according to the video, pull up. So I'll turn it around and do the other end. So insert it underneath the ribbon and through the loop and pull through. And once you do that, you can just do a regular tie. And I make sure that the top parts, or the top part where it curls, is faced up. And then just tie it. And that's the first step. So the next step is to make the ribbon that we're going to use to tie the bow to the box. The ribbon that we're using is too thick for us to use to tie it down to the box, so we're gonna cut it down a bit. This ribbon is really easy to use when it comes to making skinny ribbons because you can just make a little snip on the ribbon and you can just pull it. Just rip it apart. And that will give us our skinny ribbon. So we can put this ribbon aside, and then we're going to grab the box and we're going to start making the bow. So the first step in making the bow is to grab the ribbon, and we're going to wrap it around in circles. Depending on how long you want the loop, you measure it on the box. So for example, we're going to wrap it around in circles, just like so. Just wrap it around, and if you want it this length, and make sure that the middle point is where the center is going to be on the box. So that's how the ribbons are going to show. So this is a perfect length for me. So we can move the box away and then start start making the bow. So in this step, we're just going to wrap the ribbon around in circles. There's not a correct number of loops that you need to make the ribbon, but I usually try to do maybe 6 or 7 loops on each end. And you just keep doing that until you reach that number that you like. So I got my loops done. I got 7 on each end. So the next step is to cut the end of the ribbon. So the beginning end of the ribbon should be on the opposite side of where you're cutting. So since the beginning ribbon is on this side, I'm going to cut the opposite end of the end ribbon on this side. So once you do that, the part where you cut, you're going to fold that loop end, so this end, with the other loop end, until you make like a little mini heart. So now, once you get your mini heart, the pointed end of the heart, we're going to cut a V-shaped cutting right there. We're not going to cut to the point where they're touching each other. We're going to try to leave a little space in the middle so that it doesn't, split up. So we're going to cut a diagonal line right across. You may have a difficult time doing this because it's really very thick, the ribbon. So I changed to my extra sharp scissors, which cuts very easily. I actually cut myself once. Bad. So I got one diagonal line cut across. So I'm going to try to leave a little tiny space right in the middle so that we don't split the ribbon. So you make the next diagonal cut. And this size should be okay. So it has that little space right there. And then we're ready for the next step. So now we use our skinny ribbon that we cut earlier, and we're going to insert it through the hole between the two loops that we folded together in the ribbon. So right in between, there's going to be a little space. And we're going to insert the ribbon, the skinny ribbon through. So once we do that, I try to make sure that the ends of the skinny ribbon are close together because we're going to make a knot to keep this ribbon tied together. So we're just going to tie a knot, and I usually do put the one end of the ribbon through the loop 2 times, so it's really stayed there. Very tight if you do it 2 times. Not tie it 2 times, but insert the one end of the ribbon into the loop 2 times. Don't pull it too hard or else you might rip the skinny ribbon that you cut and you might have to cut another one. So once you do that, you tie it one more time, just a regular tie. And then you're ready for the next step. So now that we have our ribbon ready, we can now attach it to the box. So we're going to line the loops with the ribbon on the box because it's easier to attach it on. So we're going to grab the skinny ribbon from the ribbon that we have, and we're going to insert it underneath the center of the box, right across. And we're going to do the same thing to the other end of the ribbon, insert it right across. You're going to grab both ends and you're going to make a knot. Just a regular knot. And we're going to tie it 2 times. So we know that the ribbon is not going to move. And then we're ready for the next step. So now that we have the bow attached to the box, we can make the bow. So you can start with any end of the loop, and from the inside we're gonna pull one loop, and we're going to twist it down. Pull another loop with the other finger and pull down. And you just keep going until all the loops are out. And don't worry if it's a mess now, but once we get all the ribbons out from the bow to make the bow, then we can fix the bow up and just keep twisting. So don't worry if it's a mess, because we can fix it later. I think, is there another one? There's just one. Okay. So now that we have all the loops out from the bow, we can arrange the loops around to make it, you know, a little poofy or however you want it. I try to make sure that all the ribbons are not close to each other and that they're all separated and they're not like touching each other. Like, for example, these two, I don't want them touching together, so I'm going to try to split them up. And this may take a couple minutes to play around with, which is okay, because you want to make sure that the bow looks presentable when you give it to the person that you're giving the gift to. So after a couple minutes of playing around with my bow, I finally got it to the arrangement that I like. So now that we got the bow done, we can start making the little curls from the long ribbons that we have. So with the long ribbons, I try to cut maybe 3 or 4 snips, depending on the length or the width of the, not the length, but the width of the ribbon that you want to curl. So with these ones, I want to make it a third width for each one. So I'm going to make 2 snips to make 3 smaller ribbons and then just pull it across. Another reason that I like these, it's very, very easy. It's not hard like certain ribbons, and I've tried a lot of ribbons and they're really, really hard to snip and pull. Sometimes just rips it instead of cutting it. So now that we have the skinnier ribbons that we made from the longer ribbons that we had earlier, now we can just curl it. So with the scissors, with the sharp end, we're gonna put it underneath the ribbon, and you're gonna hold it with your thumb and just pull it across until it makes a curl. So just pull it across, it'll curl up, put it underneath the ribbon and pull, and just keep going until you curl all of the ribbons. So there you have it. This is my signature bow that I make for Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, whatever gifts. Isn't it pretty, guys? Thank you all for watching. Don't forget, follow me, CX3 Crafts, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. See y'all later.